keys to the candy store to the devil.
Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking about Grotesquerie. Today we're diving into episode 3 and 4, and things are really heating up. These episodes have a lot of depth, especially in terms of the character's emotional journey, and the horror imagery continues to intensify. One of the most impactful moments from these episodes was the dialogue between Lois and her daughter Merritt. It's clear that both of them are struggling with their own demons, and there's this haunting parallel between them. They each have destructive habits that they can't seem to break. For Lois, it's her drinking, and for Merritt, it's her overeating and refusal to confront her emotions. The way they observe each other self-destruct is very heartbreaking. There's a shared pain, almost as if they was watching each other drown without really knowing how to offer a lifeline. It adds a layer of tragedy to their relationship that we haven't fully seen before. We also get a bit more insight into Lois' backstory, specifically how she met her husband Marshall. This was a nice touch, giving us a glimpse into the past and shedding light on how Lois was first encouraged to pursue a career in law enforcement. Lois and Merritt are caught in a cycle of self-sabotage, in my opinion, each unwilling or unable to stop the harming they're doing to themselves. You can see this weight crushing Lois, and it's clear that she's at her breaking point. One scene that stood out to me the most was Lois' speech where she talked about the victims. Her raw, unfiltered description of what they went through before they were unalive was very chilling. It's really showcased her deep understanding of human suffering and how much she's been affected by what she's seen over the years. Lois may be battling her own demons, but she's still a sharp detective, in my opinion. She cares deeply about the people she's trying to protect, and that speech was a reminder that despite her drinking problem, Lois isn't someone who has lost her empathy. She's still in the fight, even though it's taken everything out of her. On the other hand, I think her frustration with her own team is bubbling over. There's that moment where she's furious with one of her co-workers for not able to identify those body parts. I don't blame her. How can you miss something that important? Lois may have her flaws, but she's not incompetent. She's just surrounded by people who don't seem to be as sharp as she is, and clearly wearing her down. You get the sense that Lois feels like the weight of the world is on her shoulders, and no one can really understand other than Sister Megan. Now let's talk about Nurse Red. The character is becoming more intriguing with every episode. She wants Lois to sign over her rights to regarding Marshall's care, and there's this tension between them two. Nurse Red keeps implying that Lois doesn't care about her husband, that she's more focused on her job than on him. Now that is a loaded accusation. While Lois doesn't take the bait, you can tell it strikes a nerve. Red is a problem, but the question is, does Nurse Red have a point? Does Lois really love her job more than her husband? Or is she just using work as an escape from the guilt she feels about Marshall's condition? That's the brilliance of Nurse Red's character. She's unsettling, but she still also raises uncomfortable truths that Lois can't easily dismiss. Then Lois got into the car accident, and I knew that was going to happen. The way she couldn't make it up them stairs earlier in the scene, she meets a man named Ed that works in the hospital, and I don't trust Ed at all as for right now. I hope this is not a setup regarding the situation between her and Nurse Red. Then in episode 4, I knew Sister Megan and Father Charlie was going to get it on the way she was melted so easily. And Sister Megan, she was trying to block everything and trying to let Father Charlie know that it is a sin. Lois made her confession with Father Charlie about what she wanted to do right, and having self-doubt feels like she needs to be more sharper. Do you think that Lois is going to pursue to go further with Ed romantically? I don't think she will. Merritt was able to open the box, and there was a piece of paper that was coordinating to a location that leads Megan and Lois to a huge widespread fire pit. Then they saw a woman in the desert saying that he was coming, so there is finally a witness that may tell Lois who is really Grotesquerie. These episodes really brought that psychological horror of the forefront, especially with the dark cinematography, the house, the hospital, even the Lois interaction with other characters are felt tense and suffocating. The scenes between Lois and Nurse Red were especially unnerving. You can sense that something isn't quite right with Nurse Red, but it's not clearly yet whether she's being manipulative or isn't she has some deeper, more sinister motives. And the ambiguity because her character is fascinating to watch. Both episodes deep dive into the emotional and psychological aspect of these characters, and I am excited where this story goes from here. What do you think of episode 3 and 4? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Make sure you like and subscribe, and until then, see you later.